low point of the drainage. That's having steps going up into the house, which means they lower the house about 1.5 or 2 feet, right?
Recording in progress.
Flooded.
Yeah, we shouldn't be allowed to build in that clay out east. There should just be an ordinance about none of that. There is half the city. I know, that's why I love living in River.
We will call the meeting to order. Welcome to the Thursday, October 2nd, 2025 Subdivision Utility Advisory Committee meeting. I think first item on the agenda is to have the opening announcements, please.
Before we begin the agenda, the Wichita-Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Planning Commission would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this public hearing. Copies of the agenda for today's meeting, the public hearing procedure, and Planning Department staff reports on all agenda items are available on the counter in the lobby. The Planning Commission's bylaws limit the applicant of a subdivision application and his or her representatives to a total of 10 minutes of speaking time at the start of the hearing on that item, plus up to 2 minutes at the conclusion of that hearing. All other persons wishing to speak on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes per person. However, if they feel that it is needed and justified, the Commission may extend these times by a majority vote. All speakers are requested to state his or her name and address for the record when beginning to speak. When you are finished speaking, please share your name, address, and the case number on the sheet provided in the room. This will enable staff to notify you if there are any additional proceedings concerning that item. All speakers at the podium, please remove your face mask before speaking into the microphone.
Okay, could we have the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Bill Johnson is absent. Tony Zimbelman.
Here.
Bob Duell.
Here.
Jocelyn Klontz is absent. Doug High. Leon Mader.
Here.
John Williams Bay. Sir, I show 5 members are present, 2 are absent, and neither of the alternates are here.
Okay, thank you. Uh, First item on the agenda, or the second, is the subdivision 2023-25. This has been deferred from 12/7/23, of all things. Colonel James DeBar Airport Edition. Now, we've heard this. Are we going to start over, Scott, with the whole thing, or do you just want to start from where we left off?
I think if we could, it may be helpful just to have Greg hit some of the highlights on it, what he thinks might be relevant. And then if you have any questions, we can go from there.
Okay. May we have the staff report?
Okay. Greg Sharon, planning staff. If you go to the plat, please. This is Colonel James DeBar Airport, third edition. Like I said, this was presented back in 2003. So I think the agent was working out some issues with it, and so those have been addressed. So I would just go through the staff report real quick. There are no waivers requested with this. Staff comments. Item A, Public Works comments regarding connections, extensions, and fees. Item B, drainage plan has been submitted, and I talked to Joe Hickle, the city stormwater manager, this morning, and I believe they are planning on meeting tomorrow to work out some issues with the drainage plan. And Joseph said that those should be addressed by the Plan Commission next week.
Okay.
Item C, Fire Department standard comment regarding hydrants. Traffic engineering approves of the plat. Item E, standard comment regarding irrigation wells. Item F, the planning comment has been addressed. Item G, surveying, no comment. Item H, Evergy reviewed the plat and will not need easements. And item I, Phillips 66, request the agent to contact Phillips 66 for further discussion regarding the pipeline easement. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners for staff? Comments from the advisory board members? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner High.
Okay, so on item I, agent to contact Phillips 66 further, do you know if that's happened?
I believe it has, and the agent will provide further clarification.
Thank you.
Okay. Comments from the advisory board members? Seeing none, thank you. Is the agent present, please? You will have 10 minutes, and please state your name and address.
Good morning. Will Clevenger with Garver here on behalf of the applicant. There was the comment about the contacting the pipeline company. We had talked to them a while back, but I have not talked to them recently, so I'll reach out back to them again and make sure that's addressed before the Planning Commission meeting next week. One of the things that had come up early on last time this was heard, and the reason why it was put on deferral was additional easements that at that time Evergy wanted around the perimeter of the plat. And since that time, they've worked that out. The airport authority has worked that out with Evergy, so they're not needed. So that's why we were able to get this back on track. There was one comment about additional items to be submitted with the plat, and that was concerning ownership of the reserves. My understanding is that that's not going to be owned by a homeowners association. In this case, I believe it's going to be owned by the airport authority, and we'll address that in a restrictive covenant as requested by staff. We're in agreement with staff comments, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners? Seeing none. Comments from the advisory board members? Evergy, do you agree with what he has said?
Vicky with Evergy, 4025 North Tobin, yes.
Okay, thank you. And you do agree with all the comments? I think you said
Yes, sir.
Staff comments.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone from the public like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring it back to the commission members.
Move to approve for staff comments.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Williams Bay, a second from Commissioner Dool. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? 3, 4, 5-0. Item 3 on the agenda has been deferred to November 6th subdivision meeting, so we will skip over that one. Item 4, subdivision 2025-47. It's a one-step final plat for the Bender Steel Addition. It's located at the northeast corner of East 117th Street North and North 143rd Street East. It's in the county. Can we have a staff report, please?
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff here to present the Bender Steel Edition. If you go to the plat, please. This is a 2-lot residential and 1-lot commercial subdivision in the county. There is a protective overlay number 423, and the conditions of those overlay are stated in the staff report. There is one waiver that will be needed, and that is from the lot depth to width ratio for lot 1 and 2. Go through staff comments, MABCD. This is within the Harvey County Rural Water District number 1. So a feasible recommend connection, soil test and memo will be needed. Item B, County Stormwater Management has approved the drainage plan. Item C, standard service drive code compliance. Item D, Public Works states all access controls except for all access points along 143rd Street shall be defined. Adequate spacing shall be provided from 117th Street to the first access on 143rd. Item E, planning, just some changes to texts. Item F, county surveying has no comments. And item G, Butler Electric Co-op would request an easement along the existing buried electric line serving the MFG building on Lot 3. So with that, I will stand for questions.
I have a question for staff on the waiver. The waivers for the commercial are a little bit different. Are you guys still okay with approving or letting that go through?
Yes, I would say yes, because that is for the lot to depth, and
Right.
that generally has not been a very controversial one, so we would be in favor of this.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the commission members? Comments from the advisory board? Thank you. The applicant or agent available? Please state your name and address, and you'll have 10 minutes.
Good morning, Tracy Young, Garber Surveying Service, 2908 North Plum Street in Hutchinson, 544 West Douglas here in Wichita. We are asking that we defer this until the next subdivision committee meeting. The client would like to maybe reconfigure a few things. He has some questions for our staff, so we would ask that we could defer this.
Okay. I'll move that we delay this or defer this. Are you wanting the next subdivision meeting?
If
To be 2
possible,
weeks?
it could be a little bit longer, but that's our goal, is the next subdivision committee meeting.
Okay, so I'll move that we defer this to the next subdivision committee meeting.
And that would be October 16th.
Second. Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Zimbelman and a second by, was it Commissioner Williams Bay? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Agenda item 5 is subdivision 2025-48, one-step final plat for the Cedar Clear Acres plat located at the southeast corner of West 39th Street South and South 263rd Street West. It's in the county. Can we have the staff report, please?
Morning, Greg Sharon. I believe the name has been changed to Clear Creek Acres. I think the plat name in the agenda might be incorrect, but it should be Clear Creek Acres. If you can go to the plat, please. This is a one-step final plat for a 3-lot residential subdivision in the county. There is one waiver requested, and that is from lot depth to width ratio for Lot 3. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD. This is within Rural Water District Number 4, so soils tested memo is requested. Item B, County Stormwater Management has approved the drainage plan, but also states the 80-foot drainage easement shall be extended to the 30-foot drainage easement along the north property line. Item C, County Fire states a 96-foot diameter drivable surface for the cul-de-sac is required. Item D, Public Works approves of the plat. Item E, planning comments have all been addressed in a revised plat that has been submitted. Item F, surveying comments have been approved. Item G, Central County Electric Co-op has reviewed the plat and will not need to request easements. And item H, Evergy, this is outside Evergy's territory. So with that, I stand for questions.
All right, questions from commissions members? Need none. Comments from the advisory board members? None. Okay, thank you. Applicant or agent available? Same deal. You have name and address and 10 minutes.
Tracy Young, Garber Surveying Service, 2908 North Plum, Hutchinson, 544 West Douglas here in Wichita. Applicant for the agent. We are in agreement with the staff comments, and I would stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions from commission members? Comments from the advisory board? Okay, that was easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone from the public would like to speak on this topic? Okay. I'll bring it back to commission. I'll make a motion that we approve this per staff comments and the waiver. Second. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Zimbelman, second by Commissioner Mader. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Next agenda item is number 6, the subdivision 2025-49. It's a one-step final plat for the Wilson Estates Office Park Addition, located along East 21st Street North and 900 feet northeast of North Rock Road. This is in the city. Can we have a staff report, please?
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff, here to present Wilson Estates Office Park Edition. We go to plat, please. This is a 6-lot commercial subdivision within the city. It is a replat of Lot 2, Block 1 of the Bradley Fair 3rd Edition. There are no waivers requested by the applicant. Go through staff comments. Public Works Department, the 20-foot by 10-foot easement has been included on a revised plan. Item B, City Stormwater Management has approved the plat. Item C, standard fire comment. Item D, traffic engineering, no comment. Item E, standard environmental health comment regarding properly installed irrigation wells. Item F, comments have been addressed. Just a reminder that a CUP adjustment will be needed. And item H, Evergy has reviewed the plat and will not need to request additional easements. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Okay. Questions for staff from commission members? And advisory board comments? Thank you. Is the applicant or agent come forward, please? 10 minutes. State your name and address, please.
Good morning, Brian Lindeback, MKEC Engineering, 411 North Webb Road, on behalf of the owners. We're in agreement with staff comments and we'll stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions from the commission members? Advisory board comments?
Thank you so much.
Is anyone from the public would like to speak to this? Okay, bring it back to the commission members for action.
I'll move that we approve this per staff comment.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Mader and a second by Commissioner Dool to approve this per staff comments. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Item number 7, subdivision 2025-50. One-step final plat for the South Life Church Addition located east along South Seneca Street and 300 feet south of West 55th Street. Can we have the staff report, please?
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff to represent South Light Church Edition. This is a one-lot commercial subdivision in the city. There is one waiver requested, and that is from lot to depth width for the proposed lot. Go through staff comments. Item A, utilities need to be extended and fees are applicable. Item B, stormwater management has approved the plat. Item C, fire department standard comment regarding hydrants. Item D, traffic engineering has approved the plat. Item E, standard comment regarding irrigation wells. Item F, planning comment has been addressed. Item G, surveying comment has been addressed. And item E, Evergy has reviewed the plat and will not need to request additional easements. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Questions from the commissioners? Okay. Advisory board comments? Thank you. Applicant or agent? Again? Name and address, 10 minutes.
Thank you. Brian Ledback, MKEC Engineering, 411 North Webb Road, on behalf of the owners and applicant. And the same story. We're in agreement with staff comments and don't have any comments.
Questions from the commissioners? Staff advisory board comments?
Thank you.
I'll bring it back to the commission members. What's your pleasure? Oh, I'm sorry.
Members of the public, sir.
Does anyone from the public like to speak on this? I told you so. Okay, we'll bring it back to the commission members.
Move to approve for staff comments, including the waiver.
I'll second that. We have a motion by Commissioner Williams Bay, second by Commissioner Zimmelman. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Pass 5-0. Item number 8, subdivision 2025-51. One-step final plat for the first furlong located at the southeast corner of East Harry Street and South 127th Street East. It is in the city. Can we have the staff report?
Good morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff here to present first furlong edition. This is a one-lot commercial subdivision in the city. There are no waivers requested. Go through staff comments. Item A, Public Works and Utilities, comments regarding connections, utility connections. Item B, I did receive confirmation that the drainage plan has been approved. Item C, standard fire department comment regarding hydrants. Item D, traffic engineering comments have been addressed and have approved the plat. Item E, standard comment. Item E, standard environmental health comment regarding irrigation wells. Item F, planning comment has been addressed. Item C, county surveying, no comment. And item H, Evergy will not need to request any additional easements. And item I, Phillips 66 agent to contact Phillips 66 for additional review and conversation, which I believe that has happened and they have addressed their concerns. So with that, I would stand for questions.
Okay, I may have missed this. Item B says the drainage plan has not been submitted, but I think you said it was. Been
Yeah, it
approved
has been submitted and approved.
and approved,
Yep.
okay. I have another question, and under item A, number 2 says public sanitary sewer is not available. But down in E, it says city water and sewer is present in the area.
Okay.
So which is it?
I will let Public Works address that.
Christopher Stone with City of Wichita Public Works. There is city sewer available in the area, but because of the distance that it is from this location, we are not requiring them to extend a line to this lot, but it is available in the system if they do want to extend. So it's not a requirement, but it's there in case they do want to.
Okay, thanks for that. Any other questions from commission members? Other comments from the advisory board? Okay. Applicant or agent, come forward, please. Name and address in 10 minutes.
Good morning, Rebecca Melius, PEC 303 South Topeka. We are in agreement with staff comment. I might add a couple of clarifications. We are planning to extend sanitary sewer. To Chris's point, it's pretty challenging to get to. We have it on 3 sides, but between the floodway and the road, our intent is to come from the east, and we are coordinating that with the adjacent property owner. So that is in the works and will have to be done before building permits are pulled. And then we have had coordination with Phillips 66. There is a recorded easement that we're reflecting on our plat. There is no additional building setback, so we're not reflecting that, and we will have to file an encroachment agreement to cross that easement with our proposed access drive, and we'll coordinate that through site design. But I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Okay, questions from the commission members? I don't see any. Comments from the advisory board members? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public want to speak on this? Nope. Okay, bring it back to the commission for action.
I move that we approve it as submitted and per staff comment.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Mader to approve per staff comments and a second by Commissioner High. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, 5-0. Our last plat today will be item number 9, Subdivision 2025-52. One-step final plat for Serenity Meadows Edition. It's located along the west side of South 159th Street East and 600 feet south of East 55th Street. It's in the county. Can we have the staff report, please?
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff here to present Serenity Meadows Edition. This is one lot residential subdivision in the county. No waivers are requested. Go through staff comments. Item A, MABCD. This is within Rural Water District number 3. Soils test and a memo is required. Item B, County Stormwater Management has approved the drainage plan and will require a cross-lot drainage agreement to be recorded with the plat. Item C, standard county fire comment regarding service drive code compliance. Item D, Public Works approves of the right-of-way dedication and requests that the access opening be limited to 40 feet wide. Item E, some text changes that need to be added and changed. Item F, county surveying states the final plat to the north line of the section needs shown. And item G, Butler County Electric Co-op has reviewed the plat and will not need to request additional easements. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
Okay. Questions of the commission members? Comments from the advisory board members? Yes, County.
Daniel Schramm with Sedgwick County Public Works. We had a request from the applicant to adjust the access controls along 159th Street. to move the opening slightly south, and we are okay with their proposal to move it south.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Applicant or agent, please come forward. You'll have 10 minutes. State your name and address.
Matthew Tucker, BHC. We're at 165 South Rock Island, agent for the applicant. We're in agreement with staff comments, and thank you, Daniel, for addressing the access. That came in kind of last minute with some coordination of a potential buyer on the plat. But I think the only thing to note, there's a comment about rural water and connection. It's the intent that they will connect. I believe the rural water line is not in existence today, but the rural water district's working on looping through that area. So the intention is that if it's there at the time that they build, they will connect. No other concerns, and we will get things revised before MAPC. I'll stand for any questions.
So I think I heard you say by the time you get to where you need the water, the rural water will be there?
That's my belief. I'm not sure the rural water district's exact timeline for the loop, but my understanding is they have water to the north of the site in 55th Street, but it's further to the west, and they plan to extend over and then actually run south along 159th to another point in their system and connect. I don't know the timeline on that, but I have talked to the client who is actually selling this property. The buyer plans to close later this year, and they won't build immediately after. So if that line is in, their intention is to connect to it. If that line is not built, then they'll have to pursue private water well. So either way, it'll be a private sewer system, so they'll have to coordinate with the county on that.
Okay, thank you. Other questions for the agent? Yes, Commissioner Dool.
That rural water district overlaps Sedgwick and Butler County?
It does. Oddly enough, they actually serve a little bit past 159th Street. So I'm aware of some land that's developing on the east side of that street, a little further south, and then also further east along 55th Street. And I believe they all will end up getting service through that loop that's contemplated as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of overlap there.
Seeing no more questions, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone from the public wish to speak on this? Okay, bring it back to the commissioners. And I think I can make a motion to approve per staff comments and the adjustment of the access point with the county.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Zimmelman, a second by Commissioner Williams Bay. All in favor? Yes.
Commissioner High.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, thanks. Passes 5-0. Okay. I think we're into the vacation items. So this first one we're going to talk about, we have talked about before, right? This is where they were wanting to put in a pool, and
No, sir, I think the first one is actually at 29th and Seneca. Is that one from, is that what's showing up on your agendas?
say that again, I'm sorry.
I believe this one's at 29th and Seneca. It's, oh, it appears that,
Are you on item number 10?
let me consult with staff real briefly. So Sam, on our vote sheet, which is independent of the packet that you all receive, it shows that we have vacation case 2025-38. In our packet, though, the next case is vacation case 2025-41.
I believe that the packet was sent out prior to 38. 38 was missed when we first sent out the packet. so it's added later.
Okay, so do we know, were those materials distributed?
They should have been, yes.
Well, then I'll turn to the committee members. Did you all receive materials for 38?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how about we go, sir, if we could go to item, case 41, if the members of the committee are willing to kind of change the order of the agenda, if you could do 41, I'll go and check in with staff about the materials on 38 and see where we're at with that.
Okay, well, what I remembered about 38 is, I think everybody was okay except Evergy had lines in the easement. Okay.
That should be fairly simple then, straightforward. I'll go check with staff and then JR will be here to cover and Sam for 41, so.
Okay. Per staff recommendation, we're moving on to item 11. This is a vacation 2025-41, requesting the city to vacate the 20-foot side yard setback on the south side of property zoned light commercial, located in the northeast corner of South Seneca Street and West 29th Street South. Can we have the staff report, please?
Good morning, Samuel Dietz, presenting planner. Vacation 2025-00041 is a request to vacate a 20-foot street side setback on the south side of the lot in order to allow zoning setbacks to apply. The property is located at the northeast corner of South Seneca Street and West 29th Street South and is addressed as 2958 South Seneca. The property is zoned LC Limited Commercial, and the request is to remove encumbrances to development. The proposed building will have a street side setback of 20.5 feet and therefore will follow the UZC standards of 10 feet for the LC district. Property across West 29th Street is also zoned LC Limited Commercial and developed with commercial use. Therefore, removal of the plaid setback will likely have no detrimental impacts. There are no public utilities in the vacation area. A sanitary sewer is located within a utility easement to the east, but this will be unaffected. All city departments and franchise utilities do not object to the vacation and do not have any lines or equipment in the vacation area. With that, I'll stand for any questions.
Okay, questions from the commission members? Seeing none, any comments from the advisory board? Okay, thank you. Is the agent or applicant available? Please state your name and address, and you'll have 10 minutes, Mr. Bowen.
Curtis Bowen is my name, 1921 Siefkin, and represent the owner of this property here, it's Julia's Rib Cage. We go along with the staff's report as well. I mean, we don't see anything that would really cause us to have a question, so we're open for questions.
Are there questions from the commission members? Advisory board members, any comments? That was pretty easy, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this? Yes. Please state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes.
Yes, my name is Josh Hernandez. I'm with Prestige Realty Group. We're in the property adjacent to the east of it. We're in opposition of it. We have a sign that's in the, I don't know if you'd call it the easement, what they're trying to vacate next to it, which is kind of blocking it, as well as we have signs on our building that are blocking it as well. I brought pictures. I don't know if I can submit them for you guys to where you could see them there. So I just have the pictures with me. The other thing is I was looking at their planning, and it looks like they're supposed to have personnel doors on the west side of the building, but it looks like they're going to be larger. So I don't know if everything is correct. When they had poured the concrete, we had heard that they had did it wrong, and I had went out there and measured, and it looked like it was 16 feet, not the 20 feet. So I had called zoning and worked my way through the phone logs. They had told me to call Tim Wagner, and I tried to get a hold of him before they started construction because they've already started to construct the building. So we were trying to get a hold of him before they did to make sure everything was properly correct. And he was supposed to send an inspector, and we haven't received a report back.
So which building are you talking about that they've started?
This building here where they have their plan submitted, I have pictures of it. They've already started on it.
Can we get the aerial view up, please? If you could use the mouse, could you show us what you're...
Yeah, on this concrete slab. So what you're seeing is a concrete slab, but they've already started construction on it.
And that's part of the building that we're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I have pictures for you, but I printed them out. This is my first time ever at one of these kind of meetings.
Yes, Scott.
If you like, sir, I can go ahead and distribute the pictures, and then just so the gentleman knows, we'll have to make copies of those so we have them for the paper, for our records.
No, that's fine. I brought them to submit. I'd never been here before. I didn't know how many people. I thought it was just going to be 1 or 2 people.
Okay.
So the first picture is just to show the signage on top of our building. The second one is to show a few angles of where it's kind of blocking the view from the street, and that's why we're in opposition of it. And then the third one is to show how close it is to our sign.
Give us just a minute until we get...
Yeah.
Come around. Leon, could you pass those on around? So I'm going to have to ask you to start over now that we've seen all this. Can you tell us why you're here, basically?
Yeah, so when they had poured the concrete, I'd heard that it was in the easement. And so I called zoning because it was like, hey, they did it wrong and we don't want it in the easement because if they build a structure there, it's going to block the view to our signage as well as to the property because we're directly east of them from Seneca, which is the high traffic, which is what we want is as much visibility as possible.
So the sign you're talking about is the one?
There's
There's
that one, and then as well as there's signage on top of the building. But we had talked to the contractor one day who was out there, and I told him, hey, if everything's correct, it's correct, but we're calling the city because that we heard that you were building in where you're not supposed to. And he said that he had already got a some kind of sign off from the city that said that he could. And this is when they had just started to put the frame up. So the frame's been up about 2-3 months now, and then they've made as much progression as you see in the pictures.
Okay. Scott, does staff know anything about?
Well, part of that...
Did we get the cart before the horse here?
Well, and it's a good question. It does appear that the building, at least to me, and just looking at it at the same time you all have seen this, it does appear that the building is in that area where they're requesting the vacation. MABCD is obviously the department that does the building permits. We don't have any representation here today from MABCD. So unfortunately, I can't tell you why or how or what process they're going through. for this to be at this stage and also coming here for the vacation.
So is this vacation just trying to get the new building into compliance?
That is my understanding, just based on what's being presented today, but I would defer to the applicant and their agent to get clarification on that.
Okay. Anything else you would like to say?
No, sir, that's everything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I did have a question.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can you use your mouse to point to your building?
Yeah, it's directly right here.
That's what I
Next to-
thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, sir.
And so where's the sign?
It is right here. There's a car right next to it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got a question. Do you have a use of easement for that sign? Because your sign is in the easement.
I have no idea. I bought the property just last year, and the way you see it in the picture, I haven't done any development or anything kind of like that. I haven't done anything at all to the property.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You will have 2 minutes to rebut, so.
On his sign, I'm just got into this, I'm not the contractor, there's another contractor. So I've got in this to kind of straighten this out. And the concrete was poured about last September. And then they found out that at the time, I actually got over there and found it, that they were 2 foot into the utility easement. So then and really his sign on his building is up here, that's true. But his sign out here is clear out here next to that sewer line, and it's seen well from, is what I can see, it's seen well from Seneca. So that didn't worry the owner, and he'd been communicating with him. None of this knew none of this was going on, but his building on the sign will be interrupted with. But then what we wanted to do, I wanted just a 2 feet vacation, but the office said that we could have all 20 because there's nothing there. I didn't request 20, I requested 2, which was good, but 20 is fine. That's even better because he had plans to maybe add on to the south portion of his building in the near future and possibly use it for some storage there. So the 20 worked out well, and I communicated that with them, with the planning, so.
So did this vacation come up while you were building the new building?
Well, yeah, that was after they didn't have their permit straight either. I got with the inspection department, MACBD, and got their permit squared away. And they said it was okay because they had started building, I stopped them.
So they started the building without a permit? Is that what
Well,
you just
they
said?
had one, but it wasn't correct. It was just for the foundation. It was not for the building.
Okay, so I assume this came up during a footing inspection or something like that?
No, I called the inspector out to ask him, because they had signed off, but he had a partial sign off. I wanted to know why there was a partial sign off. And he said it's because when they poured the concrete, they poured a monolithic pour as opposed to a 2-part pour, floor and foundation wall. So he requested that we get drawings redrawn, and have that foundation to show the proper foundation that's been poured, a monolithic pour. And then that got signed off.
Okay.
So I've basically been trying to straighten it out. But.
Yes, Mr. Williams-Bay.
Just a question for staff. Chair, is there any issue as far as the location of the sign, as far as the sign code is concerned?
Okay, can you hear me now? It's hard to tell without dimensions, possibly, but one would like to assume that since that sign is there, it was put in by a licensed contractor who knew what they were doing and got permits, so it is legal. There'd be a side property setback of about 15 feet. It shouldn't be an easement either. However, if that sign's very, very old, it well could be in the easement.
Code that requires it to be in a location where it's not blocked by a building?
Negative.
Okay.
The only action that would and see that happens would be, in this case, street side setback, which I believe in LC is 10 feet. So that front 10 feet, in some cases, as you well know, Commissioner, there's going to be 0 setbacks. So no, there's not. Obviously, when this sign was put in, they probably tried to get it as close to Seneca as they could, and at the time, there was no structure there.
Violation as far as a new building being constructed and the sign in the location it is.
Not relative to the two, no. The fact that someone's able to put a building legally on their property, the adjacent property would need to find a way to address that. Again, if this easement continues and is on that property, that sign should never have been placed in the easement to start with.
Thank you.
Commissioner High, do you have a question?
I did. Some of it kind of was answered, but so if it was just the 2-foot vacation, the sign would be noticed from Seneca. But if you're going to add on to the 20-foot to the south, that would block the sign.
No, he hasn't planned on adding on the same height of the building, though. He wanted some additional storage there on that side, so it's going to be on a lower level. And the sign does stand as high as the building, if not higher now. I don't know whether it indicates that.
I have a question for staff. So, since the building's already sitting there, if we deny this, what are we denying? I mean, we're not gonna make them tear the building down, are we?
I would say that legally that could occur. However, that has not occurred here in Wichita, to my knowledge, and made, I don't know if it's occurred for decades and decades. But yes, that is an ultimate kind of legal remedy that could occur.
Okay. Yes, Commissioner Mader.
Would it be completely inappropriate to amend this to just a 2-foot? As it is as they need to have, and then guaranteeing that we don't get 18 feet farther out and block even more the existing neighbor, because this is fixing a mistake. I think we can help with that, but I hate to go ahead and throw the extra 12 feet in or 18 feet.
Yes, you certainly have that option. There's another thing that staff has reminded me of for this case, which is although their request is to vacate the entire 20 feet of the platted setback, if they do that, then the zoning setback would still apply, and that would be for 10 feet. So although they're requesting 20 feet to entirely remove the platted setback, the zoning setback would still apply. So we've been talking 20 feet, but 10 feet would still apply even if the entire 20 feet was approved. Now, if you just approve the 2 feet, then obviously there would be 18 feet. So it would be 8 feet above and beyond what the 10-foot standard zoning is.
Okay. Could we increase that 2-foot to say 4 foot?
You could. You have discretion in this matter to to recommend what you feel is appropriate.
Another question: if we extended 4 foot, is that still going to be an issue as far as the sign location is now?
Well, this is the closest photo I can get of how it actually looks right now. And you can see the whole sign at this point. But I don't know what would happen if we go 4 more feet. It's a good question.
Could we ask for maybe to make sure a certain height of the addition that we put on there? Could that be locked in somehow, or?
I agree, Commissioner Duell. I think that's correct. This is a vacation. This is about the easement and encroachment into it. I don't think structural height can be part of the vacation. And law can correct me if I'm wrong.
Are we done with questions for the agent? Okay, thank you. I'll bring it back to the commission. Yes, Commissioner Duell.
Zoning allows
In terms of the sign and looking at the graphics, it appears that the sign is right up to the edge of the sidewalk. So the sign, as it's located right now on the adjoining neighbor's property, the southmost edge of that sign looks like it appears that it's right in line with the sidewalk, and then the sign goes, I don't know how many feet further to the north. So if the setback applies to the subject site, the applicant's property, the 10 feet, I'm just not sure how wide that sign is, that the neighbor's property is, but it appears, I would say in the photo that I'm looking at, there's a vehicle that's parked underneath it, and it is not the entire length of the vehicle. It's probably about 2/3. So I don't know that 10 feet is enough for the sign to be fully visible, but let me consult with staff.
We'll let them see what they're doing here. Did you have a comment? No, we can't. It's over.
So sir, after looking at the image that we've got available here, it looks like that sign is somewhere in the ballpark of 8 to 10 feet in length. If you wanted more specific information, we could check records and see if we've got a sign permit for it, but you know, it may predate that.
Yes.
Now, building permit has already been issued for this, right?
In listening to the applicant's agent, I'm not entirely certain of that. You could ask the agent to answer.
Yeah, can get a clarification from the agent as to whether the building permit was issued for this? Because I think if the building permit was issued for this, then how can we tear it down?
Good question. We have a question for you, Curtis.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In regards to the permit.
Was there a building, so the building permit was issued for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we have the concrete permit as one, and then we submitted drawings, and the permit has been stamped by MACBD. And we've met their request. So, and we have stamped drawings on the job right now.
Is it possible that you could move the sign on the corner, but that would be on your property? To the corner of Seneca?
That's not our sign, that's their sign.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner Mader.
It could be, yes.
Hold on a second.
Just one final bit of clarification. The permit the building is in the exact place the permit allows it to be. We're not 2 foot off from the permit.
Right.
The permit allows it to be 18 feet off the property line.
Yes, sir.
And the mistake was there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'd be ready to make a motion if we're finished with questions.
The gentleman from the public, were you wanting to offer a compromise or anything, or just make another statement? We can bend the rules here a little bit.
So it's not just the sign, it's also the visibility of the building. That's why I was saying there's also signage on top of the roof. And like I had said, so I called MABCD. I wish they were here because we had so you guys were talking about 18 feet, but when I had went out and measured it, it's at like 16 feet. So I called MABCD to say, hey, the contractor's saying that you guys already gave them the special approval to even build in the easement or to build with what they're requesting. So the contractor had stated, hey, I already have a special approval from the city to build where we're building at. And I had started calling MABCD when they poured the concrete, before they even started building the structure. MABCD told me, hey, they do have the permit. I don't know what permit they were talking about. They just said they do have the permits. And I said, well, hey, I think they poured it wrong and they're not doing things correct. And so I worked, like I said, I worked my way up to the chain to, I believe it was Tim Wagner, who's the, I think, head chief of MABCD. And he said, hey, I'm going to send out an inspector. I called every 2-3 days last month. And then I finally got a hold of him again. I'd wait 3-4. I didn't want to be too much of a pester. And when they started building the buildings, when I really started pestering him. So then he said he'd send an inspector to check the distance, and I just haven't gotten a report from him or any kind of response.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. We do planning and we're not contractors. So what we're trying to do is get the zoning correct to what's out there. And we can't help you at all with what's wrong with the building or what you perceive is wrong with the building.
Yeah.
Because they have a building permit.
And that's what
we have to honor that building.
Yeah, and if everything's, correct, and I don't know which department to deal with, they just, when I called zoning, they told me to call MABCD. So that's why I was always calling them.
Okay, we appreciate you coming down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Scott.
It sounds like this is kind of turning into a discussion about equity and fairness and who's complying with the rules and and what are folks entitled to in terms of the amount of space to build a building, the amount of area to have their signage visible. It's a tough issue. If it would be helpful, we can have folks from MABCD here who can talk about any permits that have been issued and all that. We just simply do not have that information right now, but we could. But if you wanted to do that, I would recommend that you defer it if you want that information, so that way we've got adequate time to prepare all that and get it.
Okay.
I'm afraid we're just going to waste time and go in a circle because the building's up. It looks like it's, if we're going to believe testimony, and we absolutely should, that it does have a permit for this location. Seems to be an error on the city's part. I would like to move that we change this easement, that we approve an easement of 2 feet instead of the 10 feet, and then I could, if we wait a second, I could explain why.
Second.
So if we approve the 2 feet, then there would be no avenue for them to add an addition to this. Stuck with the footprint that they have now. For a variance?
They could come back and request an additional vacation. So they could say 2 feet now, come back for 6 feet later or something. That'd be a separate case.
Okay, all right.
My thought process being that this building, if it was built on the what's today correct easement line, it would still be just as tall and it would still block just as much of the signs on the building. So our action is not going to change anything about what it's doing to the building. There is an error here. I'm not sure by who. Obviously, whoever designed the drawing should have caught it, and whoever approved it should have caught it. But if we allow what's here today with no further damage to the neighbor, I think that would be the most equitable thing to do.
Yes, Jim.
Just a question of clarification to make sure I'm clear. What has been moved is to vacate the north 2 feet of this 20-foot easement, leaving 18 feet of the easement in
That's
place.
precisely what I said.
Thank you, sir.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Mader, a second by Commissioner High. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? There we go. Okay, did you want to report on the other one?
Yes, sir. So, the vacation case 38, it is included in the agenda that's published online. It was an addition that was made to the agenda after we sent out the initial one. We discovered, as Sam indicated, that there was a case that got missed. So what happened is, we apparently did email that out to folks, so I'm sorry if it didn't get to you, but I do have printed copies of the report, and I'll go around and hand those out. Fortunately, it's one that you've seen before, and it sounded like there was just an issue with, in terms of averagee and coordination on that. So we've got that, but I do want to let you know it was on the agenda, so members of the public did know that it was going to be heard today.
Okay. So are we going to hear this, or is it deferred again?
I would recommend that you go ahead and hear it, and then after you hear the merits of the case, if you want to defer it, you simply can.
Do you remember, did we defer this because the agent or applicant was not here?
I do not recall, sir. I'll look to staff to provide some more insights.
I believe that was the case.
Okay, so are we going to hear it again with the applicant not here? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, well, I guess I could have saved that explanation then.
Unless somebody wants to volunteer to be the applicant. Who wants a pool?
Would you like to defer to the next meeting, or is there another meeting? To the next subdivision committee meeting. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Anything else the staff wants to bring up?
Well, as always, sir, we do have a couple more things for you. One is the talking about the consent agenda and the application checklist. I did want to let you know, and if Greg is still here, Greg, I'm going to need your help with this one, but we did print out copies of the latest and greatest version, and I will hand those out to be kind of distributed around.
I think I would like to point out, just based on today's agenda, I think we could have consented all but about 2 of those if we get this where we need to.
So the things that, and it's been a while, we've been working on this for a while. There were some questions that did come up, and I think that we have addressed that. The questions that Greg and I recalled were, number one, there were questions about, do we require as many printed paper copies of the plats as we have in the past? And I think that number's been changed. Is that right, Greg?
Right, yep. So there are 7 members that requested paper copies. And so we decided to just make it even 10. So we'll have a few copies here in case someone wants it. And if more copies are requested, we would just contact the agent to print off and drop them off, since most of the agents are local here in town.
Greg, when I'm looking at this right now, item number 4, it says 32 folded paper copies.
Yep. Yep, sorry, we'll change that, but if you look at the second page with the checklist, it does say 10. So, yep, I just missed that notice of the 32 in the paragraph section.
Okay.
So, yep, we'll get that changed. Yes, we'll send out PDF copies.
And then, Greg, the second thing that I discussed was recollection about the communication about the drainage plans, and that those can be submitted electronically, and then emphasizing that as well.
Right. We'll request that they submit, when they submit the PDF plat submittal, they'll also submit a copy of the drainage plan, and we'll forward those drainage plans on to city and county stormwater for review.
And that's reflected on page 2, 1, 2, 3, bullet points, or those boxes, check boxes 3 and 4 on this document on the second page indicate email PDF copy of drainage concept 2. And there's one copy that goes to planning, there's one copy that will go to the appropriate public works entity.
Scott, could I ask if the checklist could be numbered also? So that when we talk about it, we can say number 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes, sir. Certainly, we can do that.
Additionally, the Developers Committee at the Builders Association has seen this document. They've actually suggested some changes that were, I don't know if all of them were put in, but most of them were accepted and put in.
Yes, sir. I think we've tried to accommodate any requests that we received. I don't think we've received any requests that either could not be accommodated or did not, just simply did not jive with the regulations. I think we've been able to make those all work.
Anything else?
Oh, I should note that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Item 5 on the second page, it says 5 folder copies of sketch plat. That 5 was derived from the subdivision regulations because it says 5 to be submitted. So, you know, unless we change the subdivision regulations, we'll stick with the 5. So if a sketch plat does come in, you might just get a PDF copy of the sketch plat.
Okay.
So where we are with this is, you know, we'll go back, we'll make that tweet and the adjustment on page 2. We'll also add the numbers for the bullet points, check marks. But where we are is then whenever you're comfortable, if you all make a recommendation that staff go ahead and use this, then we'll go ahead and do that. We'll provide about a month. So I would like to provide about a month's lead time so that people who regularly submit plats would have an opportunity to get used to it and see it again. Just don't want any surprises. And then as we go through this and we're using this, if there are changes to it that we need to make, if there are typos or something like that, I don't think that's worthy of bringing to the committee. But if it's something substantial, we'll bring it to you. And likewise, if members of the public or applicants see stuff that they want that are substantial changes, I hope that they'll bring them to you or bring them to us, and we'll have a conversation about it.
And the goal of all of this is if a developer turns in a plat that meets all of these requirements, then we can eventually consent agenda it instead of standing up here and talking about it.
I think what we would do, what I would maybe to try out for the first go round is maybe doing it like MAPC does, which is there anyone who wants, so the assumption is it's on consent unless someone wants to hear it. And for our part, I think if there are waivers that are requested, I think we'll have to consider whether or not it should go on consent because, again, you'll have to approve that waiver as well.
Right. And the public also has to have a chance to speak on these two. So, thank you. You're all dismissed. I got pictures of Julius's rib cage if any.